Hi, I wanted to tell you today a little bit about a great tool for any kind of negotiation that you might be doing. It's something called a BATNA. Well, what does BATNA stand for? It's clearly an acronym because we're all in caps. BATNA stands for Best Alternative to a Negotiated Agreement. What does that mean? Well, it means that anytime you're going into a negotiation, you have to say to yourself, well, what are my choices if this negotiation doesn't work out? What's the best alternative I have to a negotiated agreement? So let's look at an example. Let's say you're couch shopping. You're looking for, in particular, a black leather couch. And so you head off to one store and you find this couch here, this first couch, and it costs $2,000. It's a nice couch, you like it a lot, that's a little more than you wanted to spend, and so you keep looking. And you go to a couple more stores and you locate this second couch, which happens to be only $1,000. And you say, that's a lot more in the price range that I'm looking for, even though I like this first couch better. So even though I like the first couch better, I can return to that store and let them know that I've got this other couch as an option. And that's a pretty good alternative to negotiate an agreement with the first couch vendor. And so I can say, hey, I found another couch. It's much cheaper. What kind of deal can you give me on this couch? Because I would prefer to buy this one. So you have in this case, your BATNA is good. You have a really good BATNA as far as these couches are concerned. So next into the world of librarianship. For example, let's say you're looking at a new database. Let's say it happens to be a database for English and English literature resources, and it covers about 50 good quality English literature journals. There's no full text, so it's just strictly abstracting and indexing, and the price is $1,200. So I'm looking at this for $1,200. Well, in order to come up with my BATNA, I have to say, well, if I don't buy this database, how are my students, my English students, going to get the resources they need, the journal articles they need? Well, I have an existing database that covers a lot of disciplines. Let's call this one multi. And so I'm already paying for this database, so it's no new outlay of cash. It's $0 for what I'm looking for. But it only covers about 30 journals, but it does have some full text of those journals. So there's definitely a downside. It's not as many journals, but there's definitely an upside. It's got the full text. On top of that, let's say I also have a free resource. Let's say, for example, Google Scholar. And even though Google Scholar is maybe not as much of a quality database in the sense of it doesn't have all of the abstracting and indexing that these other two databases have, it does cover all of the journals from the first database. It covers all 50 of them. All of their websites are crawled by Google Scholar, so all of those articles are going to be searched within there. So when I'm looking at the BATNA for this resource, I'm looking at these two existing resources that don't represent any additional money outlay, and I'm saying, okay, so these two resources are available to me already. That's a pretty good BATNA. It's covering a lot of the content that this new database is covering. So I can go back to the vendor of the new database and say, listen, I have access to a lot of the information you're providing me. Can you explain to me, can you tell me why I would want to pay extra money for your database? It creates a position where you can negotiate very strongly for a better price and for more services. I hope that helps in your next negotiation. Thanks for listening.